Good morning, everyone. I hope you're having a lovely day, and what a wonderful day it is to do another video on why Tom Brady is so great. If you enjoy the video, please share with your friends.
For Tom Brady, the benefit has been he's been in whatever 10, 11 AFC Championship games. He's been in 7 Super Bowls, and it's not over yet. And so at the end of the day, he's going to have more of these than everyone else. And so when you're getting a conversation of best, you know, there'll be people that say, well, I still think so-and-so is better, or this and that. But I just don't know how you argue when you're at that level and everybody's great. Something's got to delineate between who's the greatest and you know who's everybody else. And the fact that you play in 7 Super Bowls, which I mean is ridiculous. I mean it's ridiculous. If you win 5, and who knows if he wins more? He wins more than anybody that's ever played the quarterback. I mean, those things to me, fair or unfair, you can go back and go, what if you put, Dan Marino in this? Well, Dan Marino didn't get to play in this. So you can speculate all you want, but Tom got this, and this is what he did with it.
I've stressed this point before, and I'm so glad Kurt Warner said it. When people compare Brady to other greats, and they use the could've if argument, like Joe Montana could have won more if he played in this era, or Michael Jordan could have won 8 championships. Like Kurt says, they didn't do it. There's no could'ves, should'ves, and ifs. They just didn't do it. Whether it be through no fault of their own or whatever reason there is, they just didn't. And it may sound harsh, but when you do that, you're actually being unfair by taking away the achievement of the player who has done it. It's not right. How would you feel if you weren't given the proper credit for the hard work that you did to achieve something great? How would you feel if you studied really hard, got into the college against all odds, then worked a ton more to graduate, and then your friend comes along and says, I could have done it if I wanted to as well? Come on now. It doesn't add to their achievements or their ability whether they could have or not. The fact is they didn't do it. So why should they have the right to take away from your accomplishments for working hard to get that degree? And that's what they do when they do that to Brady. That's what happens when you say Jordan could have won 8 championships or Montana could have won 7 or 8 more Super Bowl rings. You can't do that because they didn't do it.
Has it sunk in yet just how incredible Tom Brady was?
Not really. I mean, but, Adam, really are we surprised at what Tom Brady was able to do in that ball game? He's been doing this for 17 years. I mean, you look at the numbers, the 7 Super Bowls, 5 Super Bowl championships, and then 4 MVPs. Against any other quarterback, that game is over, but because of Tom Brady and the ice water in his veins that he has, the competitive spirit, the poise, and when his teammates looked at him and he looked into their eyes, they knew we always have a chance because of Brady and the debate about who's the greatest quarterback ever, that's over with. I used to think it was Peyton Manning, but man, Tom Brady and what he showed last night, that conversation is over with.
Tom Brady might, and I've never seen this before, he might have passed Michael Jordan as the greatest athlete of all time, in my opinion. To go to 9 Super Bowls, and I never compared, Roger Federer, Wayne Gretzky, they're in the conversation right below Michael, but after getting to 9 Super Bowls and winning 6 and losing 3 on probably 3 of the greatest performances ever, I think Tom Brady, to me, might be the greatest athlete of all time.
Yeah, we've had that discussion here recently because, we love to put things in context of where does he stand? But Mike did take off 2 years to play baseball, Charles, so he probably would have had 8.
But it's a lot easier to win in the NBA than it is when you're in a one-and-done scenario. Think of that. That's why I'm going to give Tom the edge. When you lose one game, Mike has the luxury of losing 1 or 2, 3 games. But to be in a one-and-done scenario and get to 9 world championships, win 6, like I say, I never even thought about anybody that could pass Michael. But I got to say, Tom Brady, in my opinion, might have passed Michael.
Here's the problem.
I'm telling you.
But people have a problem with this, Charles, when they go, oh, greatest athlete, but he's not a great athlete. He's got the best resume, because they'll say, well, what kind of athlete is Tom Brady? So we get caught up in how athletic you are. He's not Michael Vick, but, I think.
Listen, the resume is what we're judging everybody by, right?
Yeah, but I think when we say the greatest football player of all time, somebody wants to say Lawrence Taylor or Jerry Rice or Jim Brown because they have athletic achievement and they.
Those guys haven't been to 9 Super Bowls.
I know.
I mean, those guys you mentioned, I think they won 2 Super Bowls, maybe 3, but to get to 9 Super Bowls, damn, one and done. That's what the caveat is to me. He has to be in a one and done scenario. Like in the NBA, Michael, Kobe, LeBron, guys like that, they have a decided advantage in a 7-game series. They can dominate 4 games or they can lose 2 or 3 games. To get to 9 Super Bowls where it's a one and done scenario, I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
And like I say, Bill's already the greatest coach up there with Gino, Nick Saban, Pat Summitt, Phil Jackson, Popovich, and those guys. I mean, but for a guy to get to 9 Super Bowls in a one-and-done scenario is crazy.
I mean, I definitely pay attention to what Brady does. I mean, how could you not? He's one of the greatest football players to ever walk the face of the earth. And, he gets counted out every year, pretty much. Saying you can't do this or do that. And he's just trying to continue to put his franchise and their franchise in position to be successful. The greatest thing about Tom has never been about him. It's never been about him, and the success has come with just him being selfless and him just doing his job. And you can appreciate that, and you can appreciate his longevity of him just putting in the work.
Is what happened yesterday. First year, new team, new conference, putting them on their back, snapping the NFL's second longest playoff drought, winning 3 games on the road and going to the Super Bowl. Even if they don't win number 55, is what he did yesterday the greatest accomplishment of all? No, I'm not going to shorten it up, Key, because this is one of the greatest players of all time, so I'm going to let it go, bro.
I would say, first of all, what caught my attention there, Zubin, was Patrick Mahomes kind of had to catch himself when he said the greatest quarterback. Then he had to say, wait, hold on. One of the greatest quarterbacks there, because I'm not done quite yet. Look, man, what can you say? I'm sitting here and I'm just kind of like, wow. Yesterday as time was ticking away and it was clear that Brady was going to the Super Bowl again, it's just like, damn, like enough already. Share it with somebody else. But certain players in certain situations, no matter what you try and do, they just, for whatever reason, they got that it factor, that magic, another Super Bowl appearance. Like, how could you? It's like LeBron James. You could just take him, drop him with a team. Like, if you took Tom Brady and put him on the Detroit Lions right now, they might be in the damn NFC Championship game next year. I mean, it's crazy. You take Tom Brady and put him on the Jacksonville Jaguars, all of a sudden, they win the division. Hey, hats off to him. I mean, his career is amazing. That's all I can say.
In terms of Tom Brady, you played at a very different time than he is playing right now. Would you rather have played with him or against him?
I would love to have him with me. He would, and there's not a doubt in my mind that Tom Brady and I would have been really close because of how much we care about the game and how much we respected, being able to put that helmet and shoulder pads on. I know, like that, the 4 games that he was not able to play this year, the fuel that fueled him, that fire in his belly that got him through this season, I think a lot of it had to do with those 4 games.
We're just waiting on the call whenever he's ready to go. The workouts we do with Tom are probably a little harder than the ones we do in the facility. So, I don't mind. I like going with Tom, getting in some real good work.
Well, how come they're so much harder?
Because it's a little earlier in the morning. About the same amount of running, but it's a little earlier in the morning.
When you're on the team with him and you see the work he puts in, you see he wakes up. We have meetings at 7:45. He's up at 5:30 every morning. You see why he does the things he does, the accomplishments he has, the championships he has. and his resume is good how it is because he puts in the work. Nobody noticed that. So instead of you hating on somebody, like you saying you hate is a strong word. You could learn something from that guy. And I've been learning, I'm watching him, I've learned a lot from him. You know what I mean? Throughout my time here in Tampa with him. You know what I mean? And understand his work ethic. You know, soon as we get on the bus, he's watching film. Oh, listen, I might be dead in the sleep. He'll come tap me. Like, Leonard, you made a bad cut. I'm like, what? He like, you made a bad cut. I'm like, bet. I'm like, you right? I'm gonna sharpen. I'm gonna fix it. You know what I mean? So that's the type of guy you need around you. I ain't gonna say need. You will want around you, cause everything he has, it just rubs off on you. You know, you want to be that great. you want to have those ethics he has. He's like, to me, you know, some people compare him like LeBron or whatever. Like he's the Kobe of football to me. I'm not gonna lie to you.
You played the New England Patriots the other night, and just so happened I was there. I had a front row seat, right? But Tom Brady came to you, and Tom Brady said to you, I want to know, what was your emotions? Because I heard you earlier in the week talking about preparing for the GOAT. You called him the GOAT. He has 6 rings. He's on the. But what was that moment like for Lamar Jackson?
Tom Brady, the GOAT of all GOATs, 6 Super Bowls, 20 years doing it. The guy he's still playing like he's a second-year player, third-year player, like he's a young guy in the league still. You can't take nothing from him. It was crazy, you know. I know we'll see him again, so.
If you notice, all the greats, all the great players and the current players, they all rave about Brady. There are some that are reserved still because they're still competing against him, but they still show him the respect he deserves because all these players know what it takes to be great. It's not just words. They know from their own personal experience. So these players give Brady his due. I think we all should as well. Anyhow, this video is done. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and have a wonderful day.